Welcome to another Moodle for Instructors video. In this video, we're going to look at how to create a quiz in Moodle. To create a quiz, we're going to break this into 3 parts so that we can easily use the questions we create in future courses. First, we'll create a category, which will allow us to organize a group of questions that we create into a particular bucket. Second, we'll create a series of questions within that bucket. And third, we'll create a quiz and we'll add the questions we've created to it. Within the Administration section on the left-hand side, click Question Bank and then select Categories. I'm going to scroll down and create a new category titled Moodle for Instructors Week 2 Quiz. I'll then click Add Category. I can see this new category has been created at the top. I'll then go back to the left-hand panel, and within Question Bank, I'll select Questions. I'm asked to select a category where my questions will be stored, so from the drop-down menu, I'll select the new category that I just created. Below this, Moodle gives you some additional ways your questions will display. How you set these up now can help you locate your questions in the future. I'll select Show Question Text in the Question List, and then I'll click Create a New Question. I'm now prompted to select the type of question I'd like to create. As you can see, there's quite a range of types of questions to choose from. For this example, I'll select True/False, and I'll then click Add. Moodle reminds me that this question will be stored within Week 2 Quiz, which is the category I created. I'll now name the question by giving it a general name, and below I'll write the actual question. You can see there's a text editor available to you in this section, and you can access more formatting tools by clicking on the toolbar icon. If you'd like to change how many points students can earn by answering this question correctly, you can adjust that here. You'll need to set what the correct answer to this question is. In this case, the correct answer is false. You also have the option to enter either general feedback for this question, which can appear regardless of how the student answers, or you can insert more specific feedback, which will appear if the student answers correctly or incorrectly. There are some additional settings you can control, but I won't go into these in great detail within this video. Just remember that if you'd like to learn more about a particular setting, you can always click on the question mark to view a more detailed description. Once you're happy with the content and settings for your question, click Save Changes at the bottom of the screen. I can see the question I just created listed here. At this point, I could continue on to create additional questions. Now that I've created a category for my questions and have created a question, I'm ready to create the quiz. I'm going to go back to my course by using the breadcrumb trail at the top, and within Week 2, I'll select Add an Activity or Resource. I'll then select Quiz and click Add at the bottom of the screen. I'll title my quiz Week 2 Quiz, and in the description section, I'll write instructions for this quiz. Below this, you can set when the quiz will open and close, and how much time students will have to complete it. In the grade section, you can set what grades students need to achieve in order to pass the quiz, and how many attempts students will have. Below this, you can adjust how questions display to students in terms of how many questions appear on each page, and whether students have the ability to freely navigate by either moving ahead or going back to previous pages during the quiz. Within Question Behavior, you can set whether your questions will be shuffled, as well as how and when feedback should display. And in the Review Options section, you can determine when students will be able to review their answers and what will display if they can. For example, do you want students to be able to see what they got right or wrong immediately after they complete the quiz? And if so, what type of information do you want displayed? There are additional settings you can adjust here, but I'll let you explore them at your own pace when you set up your own quizzes. I'll now scroll down and click Save and Display. A brief summary of the quiz displays for me, and I'm reminded of the fact that no questions have been added to my quiz yet. I'll now click Edit Quiz. On the far right, I'll click Add, and you'll notice I have a few ways I can add a question, but I'll select From Question Bank, in order to locate the question I created earlier. In the pop-up window, I'll locate the category where I stored my question. Once I select it, my question appears below. I'll then click the plus icon to add this question to my quiz. For the sake of this example, I'll keep my quiz to one question and then click Save. Once I'm done adding questions to my quiz, I'll go back to my course. I can see Week 2 quiz has been added to the second week of my course, and if I'd like to make further edits to my quiz, I can click on Edit Settings from the drop-down menu. Once I'm happy with the quiz, I'll click Turn Editing Off in the top right corner. I hope this gets you started with creating categories, questions, and quizzes in Moodle. Feel free to check out our other Moodle for Instructors videos to learn about some other useful features.